Alright. So, I'm deciding to talk about this as a very, um, honest factor. I decided to do a story time. I was gonna go on game, but, yeah. So, anyway, I'm gonna start with saying I was born in 1980, and the person that this is about was born in 1994. Oh boy. So, I look very young for my age, and most of the time, as you can tell, when I'm not cosplaying, I don't really look like this often. So, I was having a tough time with my boyfriend, and my boyfriend and I were having issues, and it was kind of a difficult moment. And I decided to go out with a couple friends, and later on, I was by myself with him, and I had told him, yeah, I'm having a little bit of a hard time, and he said, well, would you consider going out with me? Okay, this is a guy who has no ambitions at all. This is someone who is homeless by choice, so no job. Someone who evidently has no clue what it means to be in a committed relationship. And, well, it kind of pissed me off a bit. I was like, I don't want to date anybody if I lose my fiance. Okay? I didn't want to date. I just wanted to stay home, read books, go to work, pretty much a homebody. I was doing stuff with my friends, I like going to conventions, but I didn't like hanging with somebody who was acted like a little kid constantly. Okay? This is a guy who, used his learning disability for SSI. Okay? I know some people with the same issues, but they don't use their SSI like he does. He also chooses not to work, which was really irritating. I didn't really want to talk about this, considering that this guy is still trying to pursue me as a friend, not as a girlfriend, thank God. But he had always told me he always had a crush on me ever since he first met me. Come on, Hazel. This is this is my cat. But anyway, I was like, creepy. So I walked away. Walked away very quickly. For friendship's case, I wasn't too upset with it, but honestly, some people got very upset with me for saying, yeah, I'm not with him. And they started yelling at me. And I lost a lot of friends because of it. Because he was, pissed at me. Pissed at me for saying I didn't want to date you. And finally, it got to the point where I decided to take it up with a bunch of other people. Yeah. When I took it up with other people, I didn't realize I was not the only one that was going through this. And a lot of people in the community that I was in with anime fans sided with him because of a situation that happened in 2009 that was beyond my control. And it had a lot to do with the fact that I decided to pick a guy that was not part of our community, who was not even in the anime community per se, as much. My fiance was a guy who pretty much he liked anime, but he didn't go out of his way to go, ooh, I like that. No. He didn't fanboy, he didn't do much. He just liked to watch shows, he liked things like that. But the person that this creeper was, had no sense of personal boundaries, had no sense of what it was like for me. And I got very offended because here I was working my ass off, and he said I should be on SSI, I should be doing this, this, and that. I mean, that's not how friends are supposed to work, okay? That's not really. But, in all, I was told in the anime community that my opinion of him and what he did was wrong. I was in the wrong for rejecting him. I rejected him because, one, there was a huge-ass age gap between us. And my dating age range goes from 1978 to 1985. So, yeah. The birth years for me, I like guys who are like a year older than me, or at least 2 to 3 years younger. But they are part of that crowd. I told him, the creep, that I only date within that age group. He got all defensive, all angry, offended by the fact that I didn't date millennials. I dated within my age group. And it was not to be offending, or it was a comfort thing for me. Because there was stuff I would discuss that this kid had absolutely no clue what it was. I mean, this is a guy who had never heard of The Last Unicorn. This is a guy who had never seen The Neverending Story. This is a guy who didn't believe anime existed prior to 2001. He idolized certain actors and actresses in Disney craptacular sitcoms than he did shows that I liked. I mean, I don't idolize John Larroquette in Night Court. I actually think he's freaking hilarious. I loved the show Night Court. I loved old school Doctor Who. I loved stuff that this kid, which I still think he is a kid, absolutely hated. He hated the fact I went to Anime Expo and met all these really great people. He hated the fact that I didn't like the new Care Bears. I'm sorry, computer-generated fuzzballs. They look like computer-generated fuzzballs. I'm sorry. I grew up on original Care Bears. He didn't like, he didn't like a lot of the stuff I liked. And it showed, and I didn't expect my fiancé to like anything I liked. I mean, this is a guy who sat through, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic and thought it was flipping hilarious. He thought it was actually kind of cool. He didn't, he tolerated my broniness. He tolerated all that. And I didn't expect that. And my fiancé read the texts and read the messages that this guy had sent me. And because I was being sarcastic and being myself, and being arrogant as I am sometimes, I blew up at him because the thing is, he demanded that I give away information about panels I run for conventions. I don't give those away. I don't tell people, yeah, I do this. No. I don't. It is not in my nature. I do talk about books. I do talk about other things. He got annoyed. This is the creep. Got annoyed one night. And all I heard him say is, do you talk about anything other than books? I'm like, what's wrong with the books? Well, I don't read. So? I do. I like talking about them. He's like, well, I don't want you to. No. I decided not to say anything. In fact, I let my fiancé read the messages on Facebook. I don't really like putting those messages out because they're personal, and I can come off as being very rude and arrogant to people. But when I asked a question in the Colorado anime community about this guy, they basically deleted my entire post because they said it was personal, it was a vendetta against somebody. I was like, no, I'm just bringing up the fact that this person is acting like a stalker. And the thing is, I've had cyber stalkers before. And honestly, cyber stalkers are just dumb. Two of which, one I've talked about. The other one is another story for another time. That is an issue that is still ongoing in our community. And I actually had a hand in getting him in trouble. And it was for a reason that he understood later on and apologized for later. This person actually took the fact that he was being a creep and tried to make his life better for it. Whether or not he did it or not, that remains to be seen. This individual, on the other hand, had to have a gun pointed at his face. Yeah. When I ran into him years later, yes, we yelled at each other, and yes, I got mad at him. But when I talked to him, I said, oh my gosh, what happened? And he's like, I noticed the scar on his chin and a cracked tooth. And he had told me what had happened. And he said, you know that little thing you told me that would happen if I didn't listen to you? Yeah. It happened. He had a gun shoved in his face for $50 in his wallet. 50 lousy dollars. And, this is, of course, this is going over my little thing here. I was only going to do it for 10 minutes, but oh well. Creep apologized and said, yes, I am an asshat. Yes, I am a dork. Yes, I'm a bad person. Yes, I did all that shit. I am not, to be totally honest with this guy. No matter who a person is and what they do with their lives, karma has a tendency to snap in the most awful, rotten, and maniacal ways ever. And when you realize that evil snap, and you're standing there going, you're a dumbass. Yeah. I said it. You are a dumbass. People are dumb. People will always be dumb. There are people out there that actually are smart enough to know that they're being creepers and try to stay away from it. These are creepers who would try. They will actually put forth the effort. They'll say, oh shit, what am I doing? I must be making this person really uncomfortable. And then there's those who do not bloody care. They think because they're guys, they can get away with anything. And this is where the Me Too movement comes from. It's when those guys don't learn from that creeper moment. That one moment where a girl will forcibly reject them, and they're stuck standing there going, okay, what do I do now? I'm a fucking idiot. That is when you go, have you learned anything yet? Most guys don't learn that. No. The situation with this guy could have gotten a lot worse. Because he figured, me and my fiance are having a fight. Oh, I'm going to cheat on him. I'm going to have her cheat on him. Because I want her. Did I cheat on my boyfriend? No. My fiance and I are engaged. We will be probably married by the end of this year. It has been decided on, and it has been in the discussion for a long time. You can say congratulations all you want. The truth is, it is me telling you this as a lesson to any girl out there in any fandom. If you know there's a guy that is creepy as frickin' hell, sometimes getting backup or getting your friends involved is the only way out. I had to get friends involved. So, unfortunately, that was my problem. Now, as for the other story, I will tell that on another time at another date. Because that party is still going on and it's still slicey dicey. Alright? Talk to you later.